Yes, guys. Yes, we're back. And there's a lot going on in the transfer market. Isak to Liverpool, Rashford to Barca. What's cooking with Arsenal? I don't know. And the Liga MX is in full motion. Um, so we got Isak to Liverpool. Liverpool's been going ham in the transfer market. We got a Liverpool expert on set today. Tell us, what's going on. I'm becoming the biggest Liverpool hater at the moment with all these transfers.
Yeah, so big moves coming from Liverpool. We just got Ekitike signed, 79 million euro script. You'd think that was the end of it. We didn't get Isak. Oh well. But boom, Isak comes in. Right when you think is over, tells Newcastle, you know what? I'm not gonna go to preseason. I got a little thigh injury. All right, we'll let it slide. Next day, boom. I don't want to play with you guys no more. I want to see my connections. They got a Premier League Love Island going on, and who's there knocking? The Reds, with the big bags of cash coming in, they're ready to splurge and they're ready to get Isak. That's what they wanted. But who saw this coming? I mean, I hope it came and it's coming. Instead of Ekitike or Isak, it was Isak and Ekitike. And it was always there. It was always there. If you see it, I mean, we lost Jota, rest in peace to the boy. We're probably going to have Luis Diaz and we're probably going to have Darwin go out. That's three players on an attack where we already kind of lacked the forward. Ekitike by himself wasn't going to do us justice. You bring in Isak, just solidifies everything. We've won the Prem. We got first place in Champions League. We got the money to do it. We didn't spend last season. FFP's looking good. We got money coming in, and we had a lot of money going out. We could have spent $500 million and we would have been okay. And it's looking good. Hopefully, Isak keeps pushing on that door. But realistically, Arsenal can't buy him anymore. They already got Gyökeres. Chelsea, Joao Pedro, Liam Delap. Looks like they're not going to get another striker. Man United, they're broke. Real Madrid and PSG are possible other contenders. But besides that, Liverpool's up there in the front door. And if Newcastle wants to be, stingy or just be pricks about it and not let him go or not some Liverpool, their best bet is Saudi Arabia. I don't think Isak wants to go to Saudi Arabia. He wants to be on a winning side. And Liverpool's right there. So will it happen? Who knows? I'm when stuff like this kind of happens, like you said, Alexis Sanchez, they typically get their way, and if we're ready with the cash, I'm pretty sure Newcastle's going to win an immense amount. But I mean, we got the cash right now. This is what we're building. This is where it starts. You got to be able to lose money to make money. So I think it'll happen. I'm going to say 80-20, but that's pretty much it. It's looking good. It's a good day to be a Liverpool fan. But not just that. Liverpool's becoming this team where people want to come to. And these players, as of now, they're expensive. But you start looking into the future. These 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds start seeing this team like, damn, I want to go to Liverpool now. I want to learn from these players. So you just start building this whole base of just quality players from the youth, and you've seen teams like Real Madrid have been doing that, They've spent the money. Now they have young players going in young because they want to play with the best. So this is just the start of huge revelation. Liverpool starting with Arne Slot, and I'm here for it.
Me personally, I don't see the logic in this transfer, right? Like logically looking at this, as especially like if like from Newcastle's perspective, it's like, okay, why would you sell your best striker to a competitor? Um, it just doesn't make sense. But when you add in the factor that Isak's pushing for it, well, that's when it starts to create problems within the squad. And like you don't want to sell to your competitor, but if this guy's not cooperating, like we've seen in the past with Alexis Sanchez, who pushed his way out of Arsenal, and other players have done it, once they have like a little hint of the potential of leaving to a better team, like the case of Trent, who went to a better team. They will do whatever it takes. They'll push and they'll get what they want. If this happens, mark my words, I will become the biggest Liverpool hater. you bench Soboslai and buy out all the good players, I will do whatever it takes. I will go into your room in the middle of the night and burn your jerseys. I will purposely. I'll just mess it up, you know. But no, I mean, great business from Liverpool to be able to get away with this daylight robbery, as you can maybe even consider it, just because it's like, how can you be getting away with this? Three, three transfers of 100 million plus. That's crazy. But I mean, the numbers are there. They've proven they're not doing anything illegal, and I think it's proven in the Premier League that you could get away with stuff like this. Man City. Um, but anyways, going from good transfers to bad transfers. Arsenal, what are you doing? Why are you spending this money like this? Who does money? I sound like my dad right now. You think money grows on trees or something? Why are you spending 50 plus million on Madueke? Buy two Brazilian wingers that are on food stamps. Like, what are you doing paying 50 million for Madueke when you could get so many different options out there? Younger options. If you want depth and competition, go for a younger option who's, like Madueke's just not proven in the Premier League. And sure, he had a decent season at PSV before he went to Chelsea, and he's on and off for our Chelsea. But really, like, why are you looking at Chelsea as this source of great future? I mean, are they washing money in Arsenal right now? What's up with these transfers?
Yeah, so imagine being an Arsenal fan right now, and you hear these news with Isak, which Arsenal has been linked with them since for the past year or two, and they get Gyökeres, they get Madueke. They don't have the money now to buy Isak. It's too late for them. But part of me feels like Isak was waiting. He's like, let me wait for Arsenal to buy a striker so I could get the hell out of here and not have to go to Arsenal. And yeah, they end up getting Madueke, Gyökeres. I mean, can he do it in the Prem? That's the question. I think he's good. He's solid. I think he's gonna get. I think he'll get at least 20 goals this season. So I think he's good. Madueke, 50 million is a lot for someone who's just gonna compete with Martinelli, and maybe have the chance of becoming a starter, in my opinion. And I mean, this is coming from someone who we got Ekitike and Isak. Ekitike 90 mil, who could potentially just be Isak's bench. But in this world of football now, we need depth, and I think that's sort of the area we're kind of coming into, with so many games being added, so many leagues just coming out of thin air. You need the players to play, and I remember Arne Slot on one of his. They asked him on an interview if he regretted anything from the past season, and it was during the busy era. It was Champions League elimination rounds and FA Cup, Carabao Cup, all these cups, and he wished he would have rotated players more. It's his first year, we'll give him that, but I think he's starting to realize that, okay, you need more than just an 11, and you need depth, and you need team. So everybody's going to do the role, and I think that's the same thing Arsenal's doing. They're buying the depth, but like you said, you could have easily bought someone from Brazil, from Argentina, that could do just as good as a job to give Martinelli that extra push and maybe get that top spot. And you get him cheap, they end up being good, sell him for more. But I don't know. That's a sixth transfer they get from Chelsea, so they're just getting Chelsea rejects. But I started calling the rejects. But it's I don't know what they see in Chelsea players. Madueke's only got himself to prove. Can he live up to the potential? I guess only time will tell.
Yeah, I feel like Arsenal has been notorious for doing these. I guess like within the same league transfers. You got Gabriel Jesus, Zinchenko, Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz has been decent. I think Kai Havertz was decent. Then you get Madueke. You get this fool that just left. He's Italian, but he's Brazilian. He just left. Jorginho also came from Chelsea. So a lot of these players that did a job, but did they really do so much? I don't know, and I don't think so. So I don't understand it. Maybe you don't have to go to Brazil, like if it's not like your thing, but like look at different leagues. Don't just keep on buying from within. But that's neither here nor there. Other news. Tottenham, we haven't talked about Tottenham a lot. They're in the Champions League, so they're trying to obviously grow their squad. They got the new coach in. Ange got the axe, and they brought in Brentford's Thomas Frank, right? They brought in Brentford's old coach. So Brentford's
Real
going through.
quick, I just feel for Brentford. They lose their manager, they lose their captain, they lose their two best players, they lose a solid center back, they lose half the staff. Um, as a fan, you just got to be like, damn, well, there goes my whole team, you know. But you got to see the bright side. It is exciting because they brought a bunch of money in. They're about to start that rebuild, but I knew if I saw my team get dismantled like that, I'd feel some type of way. But it is what it is, you know. You're dealing with the big fish, and you're a little fish, and they're gonna take part of your scales, you know.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta, you know, play play that game of selling just to rebuild. But we'll see what happens. I think it'll be interesting to see them. I like Bournemouth. Bournemouth kind of what they sold Solanke and kind of rebuilt off of him, and we'll see if Brentford could kind of do the same thing where they sell these players and rebuild and just be a better squad. But we have, like I was mentioning before, Spurs. They brought in Mohamed Kudus from West Ham and Danso from Lens. These are I'm not too familiar with Danso, but Kudus is interesting. He's like a young talent. I don't know if you really consider him that young. I would say he's young. I mean, below 26 and you know, decently young players could play until they're 35 nowadays. So Mohamed Kudus, he's an interesting guy, a little trickster in on the wing. But we'll see how he fits in this Tottenham, where we have potentially Heung-min Son supposedly linked to go to the MLS. That's a sad moment. But Mohamed Kudus, how do you feel about him going to Spurs?
I think it's a good move. Leaving West Ham, who had a rather shit season last season, they had high expectations. They didn't live up to it, and Kudos just wants some Champions League football. And why not go to Spurs? You know, where you can actually make a name for yourself, somewhat, and play in the big league. You know, I think that's all he wants to do: play and really ball out. New manager, new fresh ideas. I like Thomas Frank a lot. I like what he did at Brentford. Can you do the same with Spurs? I mean, if he wins his trophy, he's out. So as long as he did the same with Brentford and didn't win shit, he's good. So he'll keep the job, you know. But kudos. I think he'll put in work with Spurs. They need the players. It's unfortunate they tried signing what's his name, Warden James Prowse, or from Nottingham. Yeah, and I guess they did the release clause. I don't know what exactly happened, but the transfer just like fell out, and I guess they got mad that they were reaching him without like any, like it was illegal work. They went behind their backs to like talk to him, but then that transfer had completely got called out after Fabrizio Romano had already given the here we go. But I mean, I wonder who else Spurs will get. But Spurs is Spurs. Spurs are gonna do what they do, and we'll see what they do.
Yeah, so shifting gears a little bit, La Liga, we got Barca, broke boys over there. They were here trying to flex in the club, throwing a bunch of $1 bills and probably pick it up after. There's those type of guys. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just a Barca hater, to be honest. But no, they got Rashford. Some people call him Trashford. They're recycling some rejects, getting him on loan. We'll see what happens there. He seems pretty excited, and I think Rashford has the potential. He has that spark in him, but he kind of lost it at Man U. I mean, I wouldn't blame him. You're in a rat-infested stadium with terrible fans and terrible management. So we'll see what happens with him and Barca. I think Barca's kind of rejuvenized, kind of with the Hansi Flick kind of tactics that he brings in. That sort of um,
Get
you know,
swole and just dominate.
yeah, just those German tactics. They love it. But yeah, I mean, Rashford to Barca, interesting. They also got I think Joan Garcia, goalkeeper from Espanyol, which I don't understand. Espanyol, Barca, they're rivals. Like not only like within the league, but it's like Chivas Atlas, um, kind of. And they only got him for 25 million. I feel like he should have gone to Man U, but that's neither here nor there. He's a Barca player now. But yeah, I mean, what's your thoughts on this Rashford Rashi? transfer?
It's honestly, it surprised me. I didn't think Rashford they would. I just thought he was going towards like a downward path after he left Man United, and he's just failing backwards. Like you're going into a young team who's hungry for more after what happened last season. You're leaving shit United. They're in shambles right now, and you have the possibility to play with these young players who are ready to give it all. And as a player, this must be reliving, and just make you feel like, all right, maybe I could get my spark back, all this and that. They got him on loan, so they didn't really pay shit. And then uh, he's only really going to compete with Rafinha on that left wing, and he's going to play a huge role, and he's proven it in the big stage. Champions League, Europa, uh, FA Cups, Carabao, whatever Man United won, and I think it's a good deal for Barca. Yeah, it's a very brokey deal, but Barca is broke, so they're going to do what they're going to do. They're going to find these scraps. They could get this guy on loan who doesn't want to be at the shit team, who's got pace, who's got some finishing. Can you help them out when they need it? You put him in once the team's already tired. That's the last person you want to see running at you 90 miles an hour. So I think it's a good deal for them. Trashford is Trashford. Can he live it up? Can he get that spark again? I think so. I think he's going to do pretty decent. As much as I don't like Man United players, I think it's a good move for both parties.
Yeah, I if you look at this logically, it makes sense, right? Manu doesn't want to have him. He's not cooperating. Similar situation with Isak. Maybe we'll see something similar. Maybe they send him out on loan. So Rashford, he goes to Barca. Barca keeps on doing these transfers. Joao Felix, Joao Cancelo, now Rashford, picking up these players with bad attitudes who aren't really wanted at their clubs and getting them in on loan. They do decent, but they don't have the money to buy them. Then they just don't do anything with them, and they say thank you for your 9 months of being at the club. So it's just a Barca move, being brokies.
It's almost like a 2-week trial, like for any sort of thing that you buy. It's like all right, you get a free trial, 2 weeks. Do you like it or not? Which I mean isn't just the dumbest thing, but at least you get a taste. Do you like him or not? Keep or not? And then you didn't spend millions of bucks, so you get the risk is risk free almost. So I mean that's probably why they're with Spotify. Because they do the same thing.
Yeah, Barca's that guy who who thinks he's hot shit, right? And but he's just overconfident, and he's doing all these dumb things, and he's like, you know what, I'm Barca, so I could do whatever, and probably talks to a girl for like a couple weeks, and he's like, no, I can't commit because I'm Barca, like maybe there's another girl out there that's probably better. But yeah, Barca's just that typical guy who you see at the bar alone thinking he's hot shit, and 30 years later he's still talking about high school. But that's Barca. Uh, but Real Madrid, they got Alvaro Fernandez for 50 million. I think they overpaid for a young left back. I would have loved maybe like an Alfonso Davies, but it is what it is. Paying 50 million for an unproven left back coming from Benfica, played in Man U, came out of Real Madrid's youth academy, and now he's back for 50 million. I think they overpaid, but that's just Real Madrid being ballers. That's the only way I see it. They're not broke, so they're flexing on Barca and not paying 50 million for a left back. You have any thoughts on this transfer?
I mean, they needed a left back. I think he's solid. He's good. Maybe they overpaid, but it's supply and demand. They needed it. They got the money. Give me my player. That's just the Real Madrid way. It ain't no biggie for them. They got Trent for free. They got money to spend. Like, I think it's a good move. Hopefully, from what I've seen, he's a baller. So better than Mendy. He's way too injury prone.
Yeah, that left back spot was leaking. Actually, I think I would have rather an Alex Grimaldo. He played already under Xavi. I don't know what Eric Ten Hag is thinking with him. So I would have. Well, I guess Eric Ten Hag came out and he says that he doesn't want to sell any more players because they already sold too much. But I would have liked Alex Grimaldo, fits the system. Although he came out of Barca, so maybe there's that little tension that he wouldn't want to play for Real Madrid. But Barca doesn't want you, so might as well go to Real Madrid. That's the way I see it. But everyone has their own opinions. Um, but yeah, I mean, other than that, there's a Man U transfers for Embuemo and Cunha. Interesting. Potential Hoyland departure. Manchester United, you know, I talk a lot of trash about them, but deep down I have a soft spot for them just because Ronaldo came out of there, Chicharito played for them, and stuff. And it sucks to see a great struggle with these transfers. Do I really see them getting back to European glory? No, no. I think they have a deeper issue where they have a goalkeeper who leaks too many goals, and defensively they're just in shambles. I think. Hopefully, this I would rather see some center back signings. I mean, don't get me wrong, anything's good at this point. Buy a striker who's been proven in the Premier League. I'll sign it. But I think defensively, and maybe a solid center mid who could actually hold the ball would be nice. I think for Man U at this moment.
Yeah, I mean they brought in Cunha and Mbomo, which proven themselves in the Premier League, so good for them. They got some veterans in there to kind of help them get through, but yeah, they're far from being Champions League winners, or even fighting for top four is going to be tough for them, especially with how strong Chelsea, Arsenal, and Man City are getting. I don't see Man U really fighting for that top four spot, but they're in the rebuilding phase. Give him 2-3 years, and I think they'll be at a stronger time. And that's only if they don't fire Amorim. I feel like all these changes of coaches just fucks everything up. You need that consistency. You want that project. They trust Amorim. Let's see if they give him time. But yeah, moving on to Liga MX. Fellow Chivas got robbed. Pumas splashing the cash. Who's the other team? And Toluca's just on fire, man. They've kept up from last season. They put it in America and just looking solid, bro. Chivas, man, very unfortunate, that penalty. I mean, what if that guy's totally fucking just sold it, like he felt the slightest touch, but I mean, that's what the soccer's come to nowadays, and it is what it is. My opinion, that was super soft. It kind of reminded me of the Nora Penal from the World Cup, how he just kind of felt the slightest touch and Robin, So very unfortunate. I don't know what your opinion was on that.
Yeah. So I guess real quick, it's not too big of a deal. I mean, it sucks. It is what it is. But you win games not because of the ref. You win games because you play better. Chivas definitely controlled the game. Leon had nothing. Chivas hit the post twice. Unfortunate, right? There was the league already publicly came out and they said that we fucked up. This guy Adonai Escobedo has had the league. The leagues had to come out for him specifically against Chivas 3 times already and say, "Hey, we messed up." What does that tell you? It tells you that the league sucks. I mean, if your own police, like it's like a city, right? If your own police is notoriously, you have to come out and defend your people that are supposedly there to like help facilitate, right? If you're living in a city where the city hall or whatever, the mayor has to come out and say, "Hey, by the way, this guy messed up 3 times," he would not or she would not have a job. So it is what it is. Is there more of a conspiracy behind it? I don't know. I don't really care. You win a game by winning a game, by scoring more goals than the opposition. It is what it is. Chivas should have put more behind Leon. It's the truth. They had the opportunities. They didn't take them. It is what it is. I can't really say much. I'm the biggest Chivas fan in the world. But I'm not going to sit here and say that Chivas deserved to win when they didn't score a single goal. It is what it is. It sucks. So moving on, Toluca. Toluca's on fire. Toluca is looking really good, and I'm scared. I'm scared.
Yeah, they looked really good. After, they just completely dominated America. But another team looking good is going to be Pumas. Splashing the cash, like I said. They're bringing in Aaron Ramsey, Arsenal, Juventus, European football. But not only that, but they bring in Keylor Navas. I mean, for the free, obviously he's going to probably have some higher wages. But he's also they've also brought in what's his face, Piles or algo así, for a record signing fee, and Pumas is looking to be real contenders this year. So I think they've lost the first two games due to um, honestly the goalkeeper was complete. He kind of sold the game. That game where they lost to Pachuca 3-2. He sold every goal. Like all those goals, like any other keeper would have probably saved him. He ate him, and I think that's why they brought Keylor Navas. Solid, should stop the issues there. But against a strong Pachuca, who played in the Club World Cup, played against Real Madrid, played against these big teams, um, who could have won the game if it weren't for these silly mistakes. And we'll honestly, you can't talk too much on the keeper. He's 16, 17 years old. He's super young. Got some growth. Good for him getting on the pitch at such a young age and doing what you can. It's just unfortunate, but you still got room to grow, buddy. Put Keylor Navas in. You got these players. You got Aaron Ramsey cooking. I don't know if you know Spanish or not, or how he's going to talk to these guys, but Puma's looking good. Can they compete with Toluca? We'll see.
Yeah, the way I see it, I think Pumas was very poorly. They didn't manage the situation the best. I mean, they knew that they weren't gonna have a goalkeeper since a while, and they went out and they said, you know what, we're fine. We're gonna put in the 17-year-old unproven goalkeeper who I'm pretty sure you were able to notice in training that he's not ready for the first division, and he goes out and he makes all these mistakes. You probably just ruined his career because for the rest of life he's gonna be probably booed. He's probably gonna be at the moment, he's probably being DM'd the craziness right now, and who knows, this could almost get to the point where he might do something to himself, right? I think this was terrible, terrible. You cannot do this. You cannot put like somebody so young and so fragile out there, especially as a goalkeeper. Like you have so much pressure. This was terrible from Pumas, and they brought in Keylor Navas, and I bet you they overpaid for him because they had no other option, because they were put in a corner where they didn't know what to do, and they procrastinating on getting a goalie. And I think it comes down to maybe their ego. Uh, Efrain Juarez publicly, their coach, came out and he said, "We're not going to beg for anybody to join our team. If you want to play for us, you have to beg us." It's like, come on, like put your feet on earth, and realize where you are. You haven't done anything in the last 10 years. So that's just my opinion. I think it was terrible. But do I see them going as far as competing for the league? I don't think so. I think Pachuca has a better chance. Pachuca is looking really, really good, beating Monterrey in their opening game 3-0. A team who also competed in the Club World Cup with Ramos, with all their stars, and they beat them 3-0. They gave it to them, and then they go off and play Pumas, and sure, the goalie sold the game, but that's the game. You play to win, and my dark horse for this season, if it's not Chivas, it's Pachuca for sure.
Yeah, I'd agree with Pachuca doing really good. I mean, uh, they gain a lot of experience playing those European teams and coming in. I think Monterrey is still going to do really good. I think if you could predict the winner, Toluca might get the repeat. I just really like how they're playing. Um, they're like really getting up there with Chivas, and I think they will compete with Chivas. But obviously, I think Chivas still has some time to go. But I'm always root for my boys. But if I were to put one, if you were to guess, if you were to put money on it, I got Toluca taking it again.
Yeah, I don't know. Toluca is really good, and who knows what's going to happen with this team as far as sales. There's a lot of interest for Marcel Ruiz, who is their maestro in the middle. They create a lot of opportunities. These guys, they're really good offensively. They're really good, and I think Marcel Ruiz is really that catalyst who kind of starts that counter, that possession to get to those opportunities. So he's obviously coming back off of a good Gold Cup. He's probably inspired right now. He's heard all the interest that he has, and he's probably coming in with that like ego boost where it's like, we had a really good season, and he's definitely has that confidence. But if you take him out of the equation, what's really going to be happening with Toluca? I think at the moment, as it stands, Toluca is definitely a candidate. It's hard to not put America in there, and I don't know. I see Chivas doing something this season. Do I see them being champion? I don't want to let my heart get in the way, but you know what I do, and that's just the facts. Okay, Chivas are the better team.
They're the best team out here, right? We got a rep. Love my Chivas. But yeah, I think that we covered all the topics today, and let us know if we missed anything, any topics you'd like for us to talk about. We're gonna keep you guys updated with the latest transfers, anything we really want to talk about. But yeah, leave your comments down below. Talk to us. We love to chit chat. But yeah, thanks for hearing us out. Catch you in the next one.